Let's set the scene. It's 7 a.m. in a nursing home somewhere in America, maybe Ohio, maybe California, doesn't matter. The air smells faintly of antiseptic and coffee. There's a soft clatter of trays, the hum of a TV in the corner, and the steady roll of a wheelchair down the hall. And right there, in the middle of it all, is someone you might not notice at first glance, the American nurse. I'm 82 now, and I've spent enough time in and around these places to know one thing for sure: they're the heartbeat of it all. Not the doctors who breeze in once a week, not the fancy machines beeping in the corner, but the nurses. They're the ones who keep this world spinning. I used to think a nursing home was just a building, a place to rest, to be safe, to let someone else take the wheel. But I was wrong. It's not the walls or the rules that define it, it's the people inside, and at the top of that list are the nurses. They're the ones who check your pulse when you're feeling off, who make sure your pills are on time, who sometimes just sit with you when the loneliness gets too loud. I've seen them do it all: rush to an emergency, calm a confused resident, even crack a joke to lighten the mood. And here's the kicker: they do it day after day, often with a smile, even when they're running on fumes. I'm not here to sugarcoat things, though. Their job is tough, tougher than I ever imagined before I saw it up close. I've watched them juggle a dozen tasks at once, from handing out meds to filling out charts to answering a call light that won't stop blinking. And they do it under pressure most of us couldn't handle. So today, I want to take you behind the scenes, into the world of American nurses in nursing homes. I've got 6 truths to share, lessons I've learned from watching, listening, and living alongside them. Some will surprise you, some might make you rethink what care really means, and all of them matter if you're over 60 or looking out for someone who is. Stick with me to the end, because these aren't just stories, they're tools. Tools to help you navigate your next chapter, or maybe help someone you love make a big decision. Let's dive in. Truth 1: American nurses are your lifeline, but they're stretched thin. The first truth hit me like a slap in the face about a month after I moved into a nursing home. I was sitting in the dining room, picking at a plate of lukewarm oatmeal, when I saw Nurse Sarah in action. She's maybe 40, with kind brown eyes and a quick, purposeful walk. She was checking Mrs. Thompson's blood pressure. Mrs. Thompson's 88 and has a habit of forgetting her meds. Then, without missing a beat, Sarah darted across the room to help Mr. Jones adjust his walker. He's 79 and stubborn as a mule about doing things himself. Halfway there, a call light buzzed from down the hall, and she pivoted, promising Mr. Jones she'd be right back. That's a normal morning for her. In a decent nursing home, the ratio might be 1 nurse to 15 residents, already a handful. But I've heard from friends in other places where it's 1 to 30, sometimes more. That's not just busy, that's a marathon with no finish line. The National Institute on Aging has been sounding the alarm on this for years. Staffing shortages in nursing homes aren't new, but they got worse after 2020. Nurses are doing more with less, fewer hands to help, tighter budgets from the top, and a mountain of paperwork that never seems to shrink. I've seen Sarah skip her lunch break just to make sure everyone's settled. She'll grab a granola bar, shove it in her pocket, and keep going. And she's not the exception. AARP ran a piece last year saying over 60% of nursing home nurses work overtime, some pulling 50, even 60-hour weeks. Why? Because if they don't, who will? The residents, People like me, like you, depend on them. They're the ones making sure your heart's still ticking, your sugar's not crashing, your bedsores don't get worse. But when they're stretched that thin, things slip. Not big things, usually, they're too good for that, but the little stuff. A missed chat, a delayed walk, a moment they can't spare. Health tip for seniors, here's where we come in. We've got to help ourselves a little so they can help us better. Stay active, move what you can, when you can. If you're able, walk to the dining room instead of waiting for a wheelchair. Do some chair stretches, lift your arms, roll your shoulders, 5 minutes a day. The CDC says 150 minutes of light movement a week, like a brisk walk or even pacing your room, keeps your muscles strong and cuts your risk of falls by 30%. That's not just good for you, it's less strain on nurses like Sarah. When you're stronger, they don't have to lift as much, worry as much, rush as much. It's a win-win. More practical advice, start small if you're out of practice. Try standing up and sitting down 5 times in a row, use a sturdy chair, hold the arms if you need to. Do it twice a day, and in a week, you'll feel the difference. Or walk to the end of the hall and back, 10 minutes total. I started doing that after I saw how tired Sarah looked one day, and it's kept my legs from turning to jelly. If you've got arthritis, talk to your doctor about gentle exercises. Water therapy's great if you can get it. The point is, every step you take on your own is one less they have to carry you. My personal take, I used to think nurses had it all figured out, calm, cool, collected. Then I saw the sweat on Sarah's forehead, the way she'd rub her neck when she thought no one was looking. It hit me, they're human, not machines. So I started doing leg lifts in my room, 10 at a time, 3 times a day. Not just for me, but for her. It's my way of saying, I see you, and I'm pitching in. I wish I'd started sooner, back when I was still at home, building up that strength. Don't wait like I did, move now, while you've got the chance. Truth too, they're more than meds, they're your connection to the world. The second truth crept up on me slowly, and it's one I'll never forget. American nurses aren't just here to hand out pills. They're your lifeline to the outside. When I first moved into the nursing home, I felt like I'd dropped off the planet. My family was busy, my son with his job, my grandkids with school and sports. Friends I used to see at the grocery store or church. Out of sight, out of mind. The walls started closing in, and I wondered if this was it, just me and the TV, day after day. Then Nurse Mike came along. He's a big guy, maybe 50, ex-military with a voice that booms and a laugh that shakes the room. He didn't just check my chart and leave. One day, he saw me staring out the window and asked, "You a fisherman?" I nodded, used to spend weekends by the lake, pulling in bass and trout. Next shift, he showed up with a dog-eared magazine, cover splashed with a big rainbow trout. "Thought you'd like this," he said, tossing it on my bed. That little gesture? It was like a rope thrown to a drowning man. That's what they do, nurses like Mike. Medicare.gov talks about person-centered care being the gold standard in good nursing homes, seeing you as a person, not just a patient number. Nurses are the ones who make that real. They spend more time with us than anyone, up to 80% of direct care hours, according to the American Nurses Association. They're the ones who notice when you're quieter than usual, when your eyes don't light up like they did last week. They're the ones who remember you hate green beans or love a good Western movie. But here's the rub, they're so busy, those moments can get buried. I've seen Mike start a story about his own fishing days, only to cut it short when a call light flashed or an aide needed help. Health tip for seniors, don't let those connections slip away, lean into them. Chat with your nurse when you get the chance. Ask their name, share a memory, it's good for your head and your heart. The National Institute on Aging says social interaction cuts your risk of dementia by 20% and keeps depression at bay. Even 5 minutes matters. Next time they're in your room, say, "Hey, what's your favorite food?" or "Ever been to the coast?" It's not just small talk, it's medicine. And if you're shy, start with a smile. They'll pick up the thread. More practical advice, build a little routine around it. When they bring your meds, ask one question, keep it light. Busy day today? Or, what's the weather like out there? Over time, it's a bridge. I started doing that with Mike, and now he checks in even when he's not assigned to me. If you're in a nursing home, look for group stuff, bingo, crafts, anything. Nurses often pop in, and it's a chance to connect. At home? Call a friend once a week, join a senior center. Keep those ties strong, it's what keeps you ticking. My personal take, that Trout magazine still sits by my bed, a little piece of who I used to be. I wish I'd told Mike sooner how much it meant, took me months to mumble a thanks. Don't wait like I did. Say it when you feel it. And honestly, I think he gets as much out of those chats as I do, he's stuck in here too, in a way. We're in this together. Truth 3, they fight for you, even when the odds are stacked. Here's the third truth, and it's a big one, American nurses are your advocates, but they're battling a system that doesn't always play fair. I saw this firsthand with Nurse Linda. She's tiny, barely 5 feet, with gray streaks in her hair and a voice that cuts through noise like a knife. One afternoon, I was in the hall when I overheard her on the phone with a doctor. It was about Mrs. Carter, 85, who'd been dizzy for days. The doc wanted to up her blood pressure meds, but Linda wasn't having it. "She's already on too much, look at her chart, she's falling apart," she snapped. Took 10 minutes of back and forth, but she won. A week later, Mrs. Carter was back to her old self, shuffling to bingo with a grin. That's what they do, nurses like Linda. They're not just following orders, they're pushing for what's right. AARP says they're often the first to spot neglect, bad food, skip therapy, meds that don't fit. They'll argue with doctors, flag issues to management, even sneak you an extra blanket if the heat's too low. But it's a fight. Nursing homes are underfunded. Medicare.gov says the average facility runs on razor-thin margins. Staff's short, aides are green, and rules tie nurses' hands. Linda told me once, I'd do more if I had the time or the backup. Health tip for seniors, you've got a role here, too, speak up. Keep a little journal, nothing fancy, just a notebook. Write down how you feel, what's off, what you need. Legs hurt today, food's too salty, need a walk. Share it with your nurse. NIA says clear self-advocacy boosts your care quality by 25%. It gives them ammo to fight smarter. Don't nag, just hand it over with a thought you'd want to know. They'll run with it. More practical advice, if you're not a writer, use your voice. Tell them straight, I'm stiff, can we try something? But keep it calm. Nurses here whining all day, facts cut through. At home, prep for this, track your health now, so you know your baseline. Blood pressure, sleep, pain, log it. I started with a $2 spiral notebook, and it saved me headaches. If you're techie, there's apps, MyChart, or just your phone's notes. Point is, give them something solid to work with. My personal take, I started jotting down my aches after watching Linda battle. Next time my back flared, I showed her, 3 days, worse at night. She got me a better chair in a week. I wish I'd known this trick earlier. Back home, I ignored stuff till it was a mess. Nurses need us in the game, not on the sidelines. Truth 4, their health takes a hit, so yours can thrive. The fourth truth is a tough pill to swallow. American nurses sacrifice their own bodies to keep ours going. I noticed it with Nurse James one rainy afternoon. He's maybe 45, broad-shouldered, with a limp he tries to hide. He'd been on shift 12 hours, lifting residents, rushing to calls, bending over beds. I saw him wince as he helped me up, then laugh it off. Old knees, new job, he said. But it's not a joke. The American Nurses Association says 70% of nurses deal with chronic back pain, lifting 200-pound folks, twisting in tight rooms, standing all day. During the pandemic, AARP reported 1 in 3 quit from burnout, exhausted, aching, done. They're here for us, no question. James has hauled me out of bed when my legs wouldn't cooperate, raced to stop a fall across the hall, stayed late when an aide called out. But it costs them. I've seen him rub his shoulder, pop an Advil, keep moving. It's a trade-off, their strength for our comfort, their health for ours. And they don't complain, at least not where we can hear. Health tip for seniors, ease their burden where you can. If you're able, shift yourself in bed, scoot an inch, use the rails. Get a grabber tool, $10 online, for socks, remotes, small stuff. Every bit helps. The CDC says staying mobile cuts your need for heavy assistance by 40%, less lifting for them, more years for you. Start with what you've got, wiggle your toes, roll your wrists, build up. More practical advice, if you're in a wheelchair, practice transfers, chair to bed, 5 reps a day with help at first. I got a reacher after seeing James limp, and it's a game changer. Drops my shoes, I grab M, he rests. At home, set up smart, keep things low, add grab bars. I wish I'd done that before, my old place was a maze. Little fixes now save their backs later. My personal take, I feel guilty watching James hobble. That reacher's my apology, take care of you, too. I should have thought of this years ago, kept my own strength up, spared someone else the strain. Don't sleep on it like I did. Truth 5, they're trained to save, but not always to soothe. Truth 5 snuck up on me one sleepless night. American nurses are wizards at emergencies, but the quiet stuff? That's harder. I was up at 2 a.m., old worries gnawing, family, health, the usual. Nurse Kim came by, young, sharp, all business. She checked my pulse, said, "You're fine," and left. She's a pro, caught my low sugar once, had me eating crackers in 5 minutes flat, but she didn't sit, didn't ask why I was staring at the ceiling. It's not her fault. Training's heavy on the hard skills, IVs, CPR, wound care. Medicare.gov's got a whole checklist. Emotional support? That's fuzzier. They're not shrinks, and with 20 residents buzzing, there's no time to play counselor. NIA says loneliness hits 40% of us in nursing homes. Nurses help, but they're not the full answer. Kim saved my bacon, but she can't fix my head. Health tip for seniors, build your own calm. Try deep breathing, 5 seconds in, 5 out, 10 minutes a day. Studies say it drops stress 30%, steadies your nerves. Or hum a tune, something old, like Sweet Caroline. Nurses can't always sit, so we've got to soothe ourselves. More practical advice, keep a comfort kit, photo, book, radio. I've got a transistor by my bed, tunes me out of the dark. At home, practice this, meditate 5 minutes, call a pal. I started breathing exercises after that night, and it's a lifeline. If you're in a home, ask for a quiet corner, some have chapels, gardens. Take what you can get. My personal take, I wish Kim had stayed a minute, just one. Now I breathe through the rough nights, it's not her job, it's mine. Took me too long to figure that out, don't wait. Truth 6, they stay, even when they could walk away. Last truth, and it's a stunner, American nurses stick around, despite it all. I asked Nurse Sarah once, why do you do this? She paused, then said, because you all deserve it. Pays solid, $35 an hour average, per AARP, but not dazzling for the grind. They could work hospitals, clinics, cushy offices. But they choose us. During storms, strikes, COVID, they showed up. AARP says nursing homes kept going because nurses stayed. It's not a gig, it's a vow. Health tip for seniors, show some love. Thank you boosts their morale, and happy nurses give better care, NIA's got the data. Write a note, say it loud. It's free and it sticks. More practical advice, leave a card, $1 at the dollar store, or tell their boss, Sarah's a keeper. I gave Sarah one last week, and her grin lit the room. At home, thank your helpers, mailman, neighbor. Gratitude's a muscle, flex it. My personal take, that card was my first thanks in years. Her smile? Gold. Wish I'd done it sooner, don't hold back. Final thoughts, honor the heroes. Aging's no walk in the park, it's a tough road, full of bumps and twists, but these American nurses? They're the ones who make it doable. They're not flawless, worn out, aching, just folks like you and me, but man, they're heroes in my eyes. They're the backbone of nursing homes, the ones keeping us going when the days get long and the nights get quiet. I've seen them power through brutal shifts, dodge burnout like champs, and still find a way to check in on us with a grin. That's not just work, that's heart, pure and simple. So here's my 2 cents, whether you're in a nursing home now or just sizing up your options, take a good look at these nurses. They're not just part of the scenery, they're the pulse. Help them out where you can, move a little, speak your mind, take care of yourself so they've got less to haul. And don't skimp on a thank you, it hits harder than you think. They're out there grinding so we can hold on to some dignity, some comfort, some spark. Your life, my life, it's richer, steadier, because they're in it, day in, day out. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment, what grabbed you today? How are you gonna run with it? Maybe it's a trick you'll try, or a thanks you'll pass along to a nurse. And hey, if you've ever been in an American nursing home, lived there, visited, whatever, spill the beans. What was it like? How'd the nurses make you feel? Share your story so we can all get a piece of the picture. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already, and share this with someone who might need a heads up. Let's keep this rolling, catch you in the next one.